What is up, everybody? I'm your host Sean with Paper Planes, and welcome to episode 30 of my Dark Souls Ultimate Walkthrough Guide. We're here in the Demon Ruins, and we're just about to go down and clear out those enemies in front of that fog gate, and we're also going to do battle with the Demon Firesage. The Demon Firesage is basically very similar to the demons that we dealt with in the Undead Asylum, so he's kind of a little bit more difficult in my opinion. He's got lesser hit points, but the area where you're fighting him is kind of tricky. You can get tangled up in the branches of trees. You can also use that to your advantage if you want a simpler tactic. You can kind of run around until he gets stuck behind the branches himself, and then you can use a ranged attack to deal with him that way. So we've already got some sorcery spells hooked up in our attunement slots. And if you want to use a shield, I would recommend using the Crest Shield. It's going to have a higher magic resistance, so you can block some of the magic damage. But if you're too close, it's going to do a significant amount of damage. So shield is necessarily something that I'm not going to equip. I will have one on, but I'm going to be two-handing my weapon if I'm doing melee attacks inside. So I'll just be focusing on dodging and rolling instead of trying to block with my shield. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward. Now remember, we probably hit the bonfire last episode, so we're going to have some more of these guys to deal with. Just this statue here, who we've already worked on earlier. And now when we come down these stairs, the statues are going to start attacking us. And then that guy down there, that Taurus Demon, is going to come for us as well. So you got to be ready for that. And once you get about to where the statues are, that's when the Taurus Demon starts running at you. So I kind of like to let them come to me. That way I can deal with the Taurus Demon on my own terms. Alright, so it's kind of weird fighting him on the steps, but that's where you want to do it. And you'll see why in a moment. After I kill him, I'll show you why we want to fight him here. See, he's going to come towards us. He's got a really long aggro range. Just checking out his attacks. It's been a little while. Yep, gotta get out of here. I stay stunned way too long. Jesus. Alright, now we're good. Okay, I didn't think that attack would spin around on me like that. Okay, I don't like being stuck on that one spot. I gotta get off of this targeting. Alright, come on, buddy. Now, he doesn't have a hell of a lot of hit points, so you can make that fight a lot easier than I did. But I was just kind of checking out some of his attacks. Definitely don't want to get caught in this thing, because you can't really move backwards out of it. Alright, so the reason I don't fight him down here, we're about to find out. There's going to be this centipede that pops out of the ground. And you don't want to mess with that thing while you're trying to fight a Taurus Demon. So we can use our ranged attack. So let's switch to that weapon and just deal with him. Super easy, just like this. You can go to the heavy soul arrow if you want, or whatever method of damage you have. Clearly that does a lot more damage, and we can deal with this guy a little bit quicker. Cool. Okay, first we're going to go to the right and deal with that Capra Demon. But there's going to be some statues up here that we need to kill. Make sure nobody else wants to join the party. Now you can bypass the Capra Demon, you don't actually have to deal with him, but I want to loot that item, so we're going to go ahead and party with this guy. Now, if I want to use a sorcery, it's a real easy way to kill him. So you can do that if you like. Come on, buddy. I know you want to party. See, he seems to have even less hit points than I remember. Alright, so let's check this out. Soul of a Brave Warrior. Not brave enough. Now, the reason we're not going to go in the fog gate is we have a special ember all the way over at the end of that passageway down there. Now, you can get the drop down on this guy if you want. The only thing bad about this is you can actually fall off the top of his head and kill yourself. So, it's kind of a risk-reward type thing. I'm going to go for it. Super huge damage. So obviously if you have a heavy enough weapon and you're spec'd to deal good damage with it, then it's worthwhile to drop down and do that kind of attack. Now, I recommend using ranged attack on this guy just because you're working on narrow surfaces. So let's see how much damage this magic does. I hate fighting enemies like this on narrow passageways. I don't have any idea if we can stun him with these spells. See if we can drag him out. He moves really slow at first. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. Oh shit. That should have hit him. That was not good when he starts chasing you like that. Now you gotta keep moving forward when you're casting, or else you're not gonna reach him. Damn! And that's why you keep your back straight on the passageway. If I was faced like this when he would have hit me, I would have flown off into that lava. So, it's one thing to think about when you're fighting an enemy. Obviously, when you cast a heavy soul arrow, the duration which you're vulnerable is huge, so you gotta weigh your risk versus reward. I could have, if I wasn't recording a video, I would have been doing lesser soul arrows just to be safe about it. Plus I have so many of them. But we're also going to have to utilize our spells against these centipedes that are about to pop out of the wall any second now. So we're going to have a lot of those guys to deal with. Now you can definitely melee them if you get behind them. It's a lot easier to melee them from behind. But I just don't feel like getting in close and having my equipment damaged. So go ahead and use our heavy soul arrow while we can. And then for the next enemies, we're going to start using our regular soul arrows. Now you see, we get pretty good loot from these guys. It's not a good place to farm because they take so much to kill. Just the time duration itself. And we're going to have 4 of them pop out in a second, and you want to just sprint by these guys. Alright, so that's what I'm talking about. You see two in front of us and 2 in front of them. Now we can go ahead and open this chest. And here we get the large flame ember. Of course, the flame ember is an ember that we're going to give to the blacksmith in the catacombs. Can't think of his name right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you haven't been watching this playthrough too long, have you? Anyways, you have a choice here. You can homeward bone back to your bonfire, and all you're really going to have to do is fight a couple enemies, or you can go ahead and kill these guys if you want. But I think it's best to go back to your homeward bone, because then you're going to have all your spells back again. You're going to have full Estus flasks, and you can go ahead and spend some souls to level up, or whatever you need to do. So we're going to do it that way. Alright. So let's go ahead and repair. We haven't done that in a little while. Hate to be in battle and have something go wrong like that. Sweet. And I know we don't have enough souls to level up. Alright. So now we're going to work our way down to the fog gate and fight the demon Firesage. And I don't think these guys ever drop anything. They're kind of like the hellhounds. I've killed 1 million of them, and they just don't drop a damn thing. Which logically it makes sense, because like, why would something like this or a hellhound have any items? But there's been plenty of other creatures that you kill that shouldn't have loot that do. Alright. So we're going to draw this big boy out. Come on, buddy. So as you can see, we can probably kill him with 2 of those strikes. Well, first you gotta hit it. 2 strikes that actually successfully land. There we go. Now, of course, it's not gonna just mean that you can kill him with 2 strikes. It depends on how much damage you're dealing. Remember, I'm holding a heavy weapon, max leveled at 2-handed. So the only way I'm gonna increase damage is to actually increase my level. So now the only things that we have to fight are those 2 statues. We don't have to fight that guy. You can actually run by him. Don't want to get hit by that stuff. It's really annoying. Remember, the Taurus Demon has a pretty small aggro radius over there, so don't worry about him. That's actually the first time I've let you guys see what those statues do for combat. That's all they do. They just spit fire at you. So they're very easy to beat. You don't have to worry about those guys. Awesome. Okay, now you can go down here. We're not going to do that just yet. First, I want to kill the Firesage. Let's see what this note says. Imminent fatty. Yes, indeed. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. Right when you go through the fog gate, this boss rushes you. My suggestion is to sprint straight at the boss. Don't be surprised that it's coming at you, because I'm telling you, sprint straight at it, and you want to get in close if you're going to melee this boss. Even if you're not going to melee it, you want to sprint straight at it so you can get past it and try to get some range away from it, because it's coming towards you, and you just don't ever want to be backed up into the corner of any of these places or trapped by a tree branch, because you can't necessarily move through these tree branches as easily as you'd think. Alright, so just make sure that we've got everything equipped like we want it. Looks like we do. Now, for whatever reason, I kind of struggle with these kind of bosses. I don't know why, but hoping that everything goes well. That's a big fatty. Alright, so he started with the attack that I hate the most. So what you want him to do is these butt slams where he's going to fly up in the air. Those are good too, as long as you're behind him. See, I don't want him to do that. That's the last thing I want. That was just horrible. Alright. Part of the problem with targeting is you can't necessarily move the way that you want all the times. So now you're getting to see his melee attacks, and he's going to do these annoying ass attacks that can basically one-hit you as long as you're far away from him. So the key now is to get back behind him. I knew he was going to kill me right there. Blech. That really wasn't a good effort, but I'm pretty certain we're going to kill him this next run. Alright everybody, so we're back at the fog light, or the fog gate, and we're going to try to get our souls, I guess. Does it even matter? There he goes, starting off with a big boom, just like he did last time. Alright, now we want to get in close. When I get in close, I can start to use my targeting. Alright, I don't want him all the way back there. Come get back in the middle there, buddy. Alright, when he does the butt slam, you can pretty much get in a free attack. Alright, the foot does a little bit of damage. Alright, so go ahead and heal up this little bitty damage. As you can see here, I like to take off the auto-targeting once he gets a certain distance away from me, so I can actually focus on the enemy and run in whatever direction I need to. Jesus, that's such a long attack. Alright, I can't see him now. We'll go ahead and double attack and finish him off. Told you we'd do a lot better that second run. I think the only hit we took was because we were targeting him, and when I'm targeting, it doesn't necessarily roll the direction that I wanted. It rolled to the side instead of away, and I got hit by his little foot. So you get the Demon Catalyst, you get the 20k souls. It's a pretty good deal. Now we'll go back to... Yeah, we'll go back down to this area. Show you what's down here. It's a pretty steep fall, so you need to be careful in this zone. But if you want to try to get this item, you can see right here. Alright. Gotta get up here. There it is. Another brave warrior. Now you can run all the way down there, but it's just a waste of time. I'll go ahead and save you the mystery. There's no reward for you down there, although there should be, because it's kind of like, hey, come down here, check me out. And we'll worry about that door a little bit later on. That's something that, opening from this side, you have to have the 3rd tier level in the Chaos Covenant. So if you want to give that much humanity to the Chaos Covenant, you can actually unlock that door right now. It's a good shortcut to have. Excuse me. But it's unnecessary. You don't really need it. So we're going to open it from the other side eventually, and then we'll have that shortcut open. So don't worry about it just yet. We'll get that door open sooner or later. So to get back up there, you're going to have to fall down here. So the way that I try to do that is to jump on this branch, because this is a hell of a long fall. So let's see if we can do it. There we go. Now also you'll see that end down there. That's nothing. Don't worry about running back there either. So onward we go. There's a couple things that we're about to encounter. We're going to deal with some of these really easy statues, but we're going to open up another shortcut that's going to take us back to the Chaos Room, essentially, where Qualag's domain is. And we're also going to find a bonfire around here. So we'll do that in just a second. First I'm going to get to the shortcut. You can hear the statues. They make like a kind of a unique sound. And there's an area up ahead where there's going to be 3 of them, and they're going to be guarding an item. So we couldn't get that one guy in that first line of defense. There we go. Give me that. These brave warriors they just aren't faring so well. The camera just really wants to move in its own way. Alright, so what you're going to do here is step on this platform. And this is going to take you up to that room with this identical platform that you saw earlier. See? You've always seen it here, but it never did anything because you had to activate it from down below. So now you can go give those humanity to the Chaos Covenant leader. Obviously you have to be in the Covenant to utilize that, but that's where you do it if you want to open up that one shortcut that I was telling you about. So you're going to need to get to the 3rd tier, and I can't remember the exact number. I want to say it's like 60, maybe 80 humanity that you need to give, and you can only give one at a time. Why they did that, I don't know, but it's super frustrating. And it's not soft, it's not humanity like this. You actually have to have it as soft humanity, the humanity in your counter. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But this is her. You're going to join her covenant and give her the goods. Alright, so don't rest at this bonfire while you're here. There's no point to do that. I'm going to step down on this platform again. I'm looking super bacony right now. Alright, so this will take you down to where you fought the demon Firesage. That's the entrance to that room. You can see down below here. That's the little note that we read where it was saying imminent fatty. We don't need to go back there. This is a dead end, and I believe the second way is a dead end as well. Yep. Alright, so we can run back down. We didn't hit a bonfire, so those statues are still dead. And we're going to go find our next bonfire. And shortly after that bonfire, we're going to have another boss fight. And that boss is a whole different type of boss than what we fought before. It's a massively sized boss, but it's also fighting in an area where there's heavy lava. So it's difficult because to navigate the floor, you're going to take a lot of damage. And you can actually summon Solaire for this fight if you like. So he does help in that aspect. But really what I'll summon Solaire for is to get myself into a favorable position. And you guys will see that in the next episode. So let's go ahead and light this fire. And what we're going to do, I need to use some humanity. We're going to kindle it all the way. And of course I need to restore my humanity. So we're going to need 4 of these. Alright. So let's reverse hollowing. And start the kindling process. And now we've got some souls to spend too, so we can really start focusing on leveling up and also upgrading our equipment. You can see my weapon has been doing quite well, and that's really the key thing to doing well in this game, is you want to upgrade your equipment as fast as possible, because as long as you can wield the equipment, your equipment being leveled is much more important than your character being leveled. You want to save that for the last. So let's start leveling up this guy, and obviously the weapon that we're using utilizes most of its effect from strength. But we can also work on things like vitality and endurance. Those are always beneficial. So I'm gonna focus on getting strength to 30 next. That'll be my goal. Awesome. Alright everybody, that's it for this episode. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Stay tuned for episode 31, and as always, subscribe if you like this video, and you guys should totally check me out on my social media accounts. I'm on Twitter, it's PaperPlanesSean, all one word, and on Instagram as well, PaperPlanesSean. And the cool thing about that is, I get so many messages and so many things that I have to reply to on YouTube, and much less on Twitter and Instagram. So if you ask me a question on Instagram or Twitter, it comes to my cell phone, and I usually answer that pretty much within 10 minutes. So as long as I see it, I get back to you. One day that'll change, but right now I don't have as many subscribers to where I get inundated with that kind of stuff. So it's all good. Subscribe to me there, and I'll check you guys out later. Peace. Thanks for checking out my video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel and social media accounts to keep current with Paper Planes updates. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.